All right, guys, and we are live. Welcome to the first recap episode of the Caucus Challenge Season 17, Leader of the Pack. I'm your host, Dre, and tonight we have three guests with us. I'm going to start off with Killa Cam, our vet here. It's his second season. How are you feeling tonight, Cam?
Hola, people. Killer Cam here. Can you guys hear me? Because I'm outside. So, okay. I'm feeling good tonight. The premiere came on. This is my second season. I'm doing it by myself. So, we gonna see.
Yes. All right, and then we got over here Sivo. It's his first time playing the Caucus Challenge, but not his first time playing LRG. How are you tonight?
Doing good, doing good. Excited to be here and talk about night one.
Excited to have you. And then last but certainly not least, we have an LRG veteran himself. Again, rookie to the Caucus, but not rookie to the games. Imir, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm blessed. Just happy to be here and always an honor.
Thank you guys all for being here. I'm excited to recap this episode with you. It was juicy, it was spicy, it was everything the viewers wanted and more. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and watching it back, we're going to touch base on all the emotions it brought back to you. Do you guys remember everything that was said? Are you shocked by certain things that were said? And we're just going to go through the whole episode. So, starting off with moving into the house. You guys are making history. It's our first season in an Airbnb outside of Sea Caucus. The entire cast is living together. It's an all-male season. It's a winter season in the blizzard. Yes, in the past. So fun fact, we have played winter seasons of Caucus like in the backyard days, but it wasn't like snowstorm blizzard. It was just like, April, March. It was still cold out, February, but this was like full on blizzard, inches of snow coming down on them. So, what was it like moving into the house, and what was your reaction to the house? And we'll start with Cam since this is your second season. What was it like moving in? Last season you played at a park on a field, and now you're in the snow in the mountains in an Airbnb.
Moving into the house this season, it was different because last season the out of state players we all like was in Airbnb, so it was like kind of used to it. But having everybody in one house, I was I don't know, I was kind of nervous. But the house was beautiful. Um, when y'all told us to like go pick your beds, one thing about me, I wasn't running nowhere. I was gonna walk up them stairs. hmm I wasn't doing that. But everything was fine. And then the snow was like a different element too. But I'm used to snow, but I wasn't used to the snow that you guys have. I uh-uh. I won't do that again.
Oh,
But
we'll
it was
definitely
fun.
touch base on the snow.
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Awesome. Imir, walking into this
Yeah.
house, I know you've played Survivor LRGs before. What was it like walking into this house with 12 other guys, production, ready to play the challenge? What were you feeling?
Yeah. So I'm not like, as an LG player, I'm a like Survivor player. I've been a huge fan of Survivor. Like I have a Survivor blanket right here since I was like 10 years old. I've gotten callbacks for Survivor. Like I love that game so much. So I know like me being in the elements and being that Survivor is a game about the elements, like it wasn't like I didn't expect it to be a problem, but damn, that snow was cold as like heck. Like that snow was like insane. Like I remember us walking like through it, and like when we were all standing out, like being introduced to the season, like the snow was like getting through your shoe, getting through my shoes already, like through my socks. And that ball challenge, it was just like that's why I wasn't like getting on the ball. But going into the house, like it was like the most fun thing ever. Like Cam said, the house was beautiful. I honestly, that was my first challenge game, so I honestly felt like I was genuinely on the challenge. Like, before the game even starts, they're out, they're like talking, people are flirting, people are drinking. It was like literally like I was on MTV. I felt like I was like really on the show, like being there, all of us like running up to the rooms, and me being, I think I was like the first or second person up the stairs. Like, that's how excited I was. Like, I wanted to be like the first person in there. So yeah, it was like amazing. And then, I have no complaints about being in a house full of guys. It was a great time. Yeah.
So, by the way, I see Koa, Nadia, and I don't know who else the last person is in the back room. I sent you guys an updated link so you guys could talk in the live chat. I accidentally posted the wrong link. So, if you guys go in our group chats, I'll send everybody the actual link so that you guys can talk and communicate with us, because you guys are actually in the backstage right now, and that's not the proper link. But Sivo, so how did you feel moving into the house? I know, you've played a couple LRGs before. You're a huge fan of the challenge. So how did it feel getting the chance to come on to Caucus, and what were you feeling that night moving in?
Moving in, it was exciting because I think like what Amir was saying is kind of true. Me and him were actually the first two running up the stairs, but we didn't know we had to go up another flight of stairs. So we kind of ran past the stairs at first, and then they told us to go back, so we had to run back. But then that's how Zay cut in front of us and ran up the stairs, and we got up the stairs behind him. So yeah, we were like running up, but we just kind of ran a little too far. But it was really fun, and like I really liked that house. I mean, we could have had a few more beds, but it was a really fun house.
Well, speaking about beds, we instantly see Zay put his stuff and call the top bunk of the first bunk, and you decide. I mean, not I'm sorry. Sivo, you decide I want the top bunk after Zay already claimed it. What was going through your mind? Why did you do that? Were you even thinking? Did you do it on purpose?
So,
Like, what happened?
so when we ran up, I saw him just put his hand on the bed. There was nothing else on the bed. At least I didn't see anything else on the bed. So I threw
he was trying to get that bed.
I threw my hoodie. Yeah, he wanted the bed, but I threw my hoodie on the bed. So I claimed it. He didn't have anything else really on the bed except his hand leaning against it. But the reason why I wanted that bed was because it was also closer to like the balcony. So that way, when I'm upstairs, people were out there or downstairs in that little deck area we had, and they're talking, it'll be easier to listen to. So that was my thing about why I wanted that specific bed.
No, I think the whole thing's funny. Wait, I don't mean to cut you off. Like, I think the whole thing's funny. I have no doubt that you wanted that bed, but damn well he got that bed first, and you was just trying to like.
Hey, but at the end of the day, who got the bed?
No, I'm not.
Next question, please.
So, all right, guys. So you guys move in, and there was instant chaos. Sivo, you had a meltdown. Some people want to call it. You had a strategic plan, as you call it. We're gonna get right into that. So, first of all, actually, watching the episode, a lot of people reveal that they have these alliances coming in. So there's a Secret Six alliance, there's a Survivor alliance, and those were, I think that, and there was a Season 16 alliance. So those were the three main alliances that we've seen right now. Obviously, Cam, you were part of one of them. Imir and Sivo, did you know about any of these alliances? Was there any hint of it, like watching that back and hearing how solid they were walking into the house? Is that news to you, or did you suspect it? Like, what was going on? We'll start with Imir.
Amir, you want to go first?
Yeah, right. I didn't know anything of like a Secret Six. Like, I guess the secret would like, hence the name Secret Six. I didn't know anything about like six of them playing together, and my hats are off to them because they did play generally well. I just think that was generally well, like just an alliance, or like they fooled me, like especially like when I like saw things back. No, like I didn't know of any alliances. I knew that like on the ride up to like the place, I drove with Kevin and Clay, which I love them both, but it was the most awkward car ride of my life, like driving up there with them. But we were trying to talk about the game a little bit. I had a feeling like that those two would be close, but did I know of like a solidified six? No. And the whole Survivor Alliance, I didn't even know like about a Survivor Alliance until like I got to the house and people were like, "I'm your Survivor player. Do you want to join this Survivor Alliance?" But that was something that was between like Steven and Jason and another name. You know, that's like how much like because I can't think of the names. That's how much it wasn't solidified. Like that's just a testament to how I didn't know. I did not know anything. So I went to the game like really just like hoping to make alliances when the game started. But a lot of people had a lot of solidified alliances going into the game, which I think is why or something that contributed to my elimination this first episode. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Siva?
For me, I kind of like coming on watching some of the other seasons. I kind of felt like people who were on past seasons were gonna kind of be working together. Like as you saw, like there's gonna be a book that shows up later. I did have an idea of who was gonna be working together. There were two people who I couldn't place anywhere where I didn't know where they lied. But I mean, I feel like I can't say it, but I feel like at the same time, there are things that are going to happen that transpire throughout the season that people realize that I kind of knew a little more than I let on to know. In a sense, I can't really say too much about it. I feel like my words, but I knew a little more than people thought.
Yeah. So Cam, how did the Secret Six form? Can you tell me a little bit of background with that? And do you think you guys are going to be able to keep this a secret throughout the season?
Okay, so basically the Secret Six formed of it was Clay, Mike, Zay, Kevin, and Joel. So the previous season on Double Trouble, of course, you guys saw that me and Kevin didn't really like get along or whatever. And then me and Mike never actually had a conversation my rookie season. So it was like I had to play with it. Me and Zay were cool before going into the season. And Joel, I haven't met Joel yet. So like it was my first time like talking with Joel. And then Clay, I never played with Clay or met Clay. So it was a weird little six people dynamic. Like I don't think people would have thought that all six of us was gonna work together. But what was the other question?
Do you think you guys are going to be able to keep that on the low, or do you think people are going to catch on to it, or did you think moving in, like, was it hard to keep it low key without giving away too much?
Going into the game, I thought we can keep it a secret. Like I thought nobody would like really notice. So how I thought about it was if me and Kevin got into it my rookie season, nobody would think that I would work with Kevin because of what happened. Like I said, me and Mike didn't have any like talk or really know each other, so like nobody would think that me and him would work together. Same with Joel. So I didn't think going into it, I didn't think people would think that I would be working with people in the game like that. Because as you see in my first season, I didn't have the alliance. Like it was just me and Choice. And even like throughout the game, we still just didn't solidify anything with nobody. So I was thinking people would think that I would be like playing by myself in a way, and maybe people can gravitate to me. But yeah.
So we do have some alumni and some friends in the chat. We have Kevin, Noah, Nadia, Isaiah. They're all saying hi. Hashtag Team Killer Cam. We love me some Cam. Nadia said she needs Imir's gym routine. Go Sivo from Jennifer C. So we got a lot of love in the chat right now. All right, so let's get right into the drama. You guys move in. Everybody is mixing, mingling. You guys get a message from production, and you find out Janice is your host. What was going through your mind? I'm not going to ask all of you guys. I'm just going to ask specific questions to certain people. So, Cam, what was your reaction or thoughts when you heard Janice was the host? Also, before you even answer that, let's drop a little behind the scenes. Tello didn't show up, so we were down one guy. There was supposed to be 14 guys on the season. Tello didn't show, and then you got the bomb like, hey, Janice is going to be hosting. Did you speculate anything? Was that okay to you? What was going through your mind? Because I hosted your rookie season, so how were you feeling?
When it was announced that Janice was hosting, I was like, oh, okay, something going on. So I was thinking that either you or JT was coming in, or probably both of y'all. So I was like, oh, okay. I'm excited. I was like, I'm gonna be excited to play with JT again, kinda, because he voted me in the elimination last season. But I was gonna be excited to play with you, Dre, because I was like, oh, I've never seen you in action before. So I was like, oh, da da da, and then y'all played us. But I was excited for Janice because I wanted to see her like in production. Like I wanted to see her as a host and see how she would be as a host.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. The night's going on. You're drinking. You're strategizing. You guys have moved in. All of a sudden, an argument breaks out. Now, throughout the episode, we hear Sivo talking to the cameras, talking about he wants to be Sivo. You want to be the best rookie to ever play this game. The champs need to prove themselves. It's a rebrand. Everybody needs to earn their stripes. You're going off. You're talking to people, and you said that you heard your name. So, what caused this somewhat of a quote unquote spiral, and who gave you the tea that your name was dropping? What was said about you? And why did James have it out for you?
So the past history with me and James, we did play other games before, and the other games I went into with friends from back home. And so the way me and my friends talk, the way we were at the show is the same way we are back home. Like, so we weren't trying to be different in front of people, but no one really understood our relationships. So they thought it was us all like bullying and saying different things to each other, which was just us being our regular selves. So before the show, Zay reached out and they said something like Zay was asking, "Oh, do you know anyone?" I was like, "I did play with James, and from past experiences, I couldn't trust James because I know how he played. I couldn't trust him." So lo and behold, Zay, sometime between I think December and January, went to Vegas and told James what I told him, which was fine because I knew going into the game that I felt like he was still going to try targeting me regardless. So when we're in the house, it's night one, I'm just like walking around having a fun time. Someone in this chat, and it wasn't Cam, came up to me and said, they said, Sivo, I got to tell you something. I was like, what happened? They're like, don't tell anybody, but they're saying your name. And then he ran off and disappeared into the night. And so I was like, okay, I need to figure out something. And then me just being the person who I was, like one of my friends actually called me out on it when they were watching it. They said, that's not how you are. Like, I know what was going on. Like, they kind of caught on to what I was doing because of how I am. But it just basically was like, I need to figure out something to make them forget about voting. So what did I decide to do? I know Cam loves to bring this up. I started talking about rocks. But
if you're in the comments, anybody in the comments, put the rocks and emojis, please. Thank you.
Excuse me. But that part, right? Like, so I was saying random things. Like, some of the things I don't even remember what I was saying because anytime new people came out, my story kept changing. And it was never consistent with anybody's things. So I think that's what kind of also I kind of threw it out. So I was like, shit, I just need to let people know, like, look, I don't remember what I was saying, but like, I was just like, I needed to figure out a plan. And I noticed, like, watching the challenge and stuff like that, when people start like arguing or when people like get all in their feelings about themselves and stuff, sometimes people feel bad or whatever the case was. That's all I had in mind. And I mean, it was working because you hear Joel at one point saying, damn, if he goes home, I'll give him my spot in the game, which I absolutely felt terrible about. I felt so bad when Joel taught me, me and him spoke about it. I told him I felt so bad about it. And then even like Jason, like he's like, hey, he had a tough night. That's why I called him in. But it's like, I felt bad doing it after like realizing that, like Cam said it best, I think, in his confessional. It was basically playing with people's emotions and pulling them in. And it was like, and contrary to popular belief, Amir drank most of my alcohol. It wasn't me. It was Amir who drank most of it. I didn't drink all the alcohol. He drank most of it.
Okay, so what I'm hearing, two things before we switch the subject. I just had to point out, Sivo, the comment that killed me during the meltdown was them telling you like, what if you win the first daily tomorrow and you're doing all this for nothing? And you're like, yeah, well, guess what? If I win that, there's still another round after that. And everybody's like, yeah, that's the game. Like, what did you think you were on vacation? Did you think it was a
No.
1-round game?
So
What?
I was thinking more so along the lines like, once people throw one person in, if that person comes back, that's going to be the person who they're going to keep throwing in over and over again. So that's why I was like, if I win the first challenge, guess what? There's always a second challenge. And they're still going to throw the same person in. So that way people don't got to keep switching up names. And that way it's not like they're burning any more bridges, not getting any blood on their hands because they're only saying one name over and over. And that was my thought behind that comment. Like, and that's what I was thinking when I said it at that time, because I felt like it made sense in my head. Maybe it didn't make sense transpiring, but I mean, I was apparently too sassy for Zay, but I mean, hey, that's just me.
Yeah. Okay. So Amir, I'm going to bring this back to you because you seem to be the root of the spiral of the he said, she said in multiple scenes. You said that you had heard that they were coming after the rookies, in specific Nate and Jason. Where, how, when did you hear that? Who told you that?
Yeah, give me one.
Your background.
Give me one second. I put my charger in. Yeah. So
I heard that too. Sorry.
Say what? What he said?
I said I heard that too, but preseason.
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean it had been going around. I just think that like the vets, I guess, if they wanted that to happen, they should have just kept that between themselves. But I think that was a product of them having like underestimated what the rookies were going to do coming into the game, and not thinking that like I think veterans have like this mindset where like, oh, the rookie is so scared that they're going to be like the rookie thrown in that they're not going. There's no way they'd say anything. Oh shoot, I'm having trouble with my camera. But that's not like, I don't think that's the case at all. But I had heard it from Kevin and Clay in a ride up. And I wasn't fully sure how much they were telling me the truth. But on the ride up, I was the driver. Kevin's like to the right of me, Clay's behind me, listening to music and talking. And being like the player that I am, ready to play this game, I was so excited to be there. I was asking questions. And it came up. And then Kevin was telling me, he was like, Amir, I'm not gonna lie, like I'd be lying to you if I said that we weren't going to like maybe stick together. But he was trying to. I wasn't like the whole time. I guess he was reassuring me that it wasn't going to be me first. But he was like, we are going to go after rookies. And how many rookies was it? Like 5 rookies, right? Only 5 of us, right? So I mean, and then when we talked about it, we narrowed it down. He's like, we're probably going to go after those 2 first. And that was like just the general, like the gist of the conversation. So yeah, being the Amir that I am, knowing that the rookie numbers are already low, damn right I'm going to tell them, because I think that we needed to stick together if that was the case. And especially if I wasn't, it'd be one thing if I got like this unwavering, like, oh, you're going to be fine, Amir, we want to run this with you to the end. Then I probably wouldn't have said anything, but it was like, I'm going to be honest, like, and which I kind of appreciate, but at the same time, I would feel like, how you say, a doormat, like just sitting there and letting them say they're not doing anything about it. I'm not like, no, I came there to try to play as much as I like played the game and to try to play as much as I could. I'm not just going to let, like, I'm not going to be strategically pushed around, if that makes sense, especially coming from Survivor. I'm not going to sit there and let people like just do that. And also like Jason, I had known through the LRG community. Jason was one of the first people that I had met in person outside of like my season of Survival Challenge. And I had met Jason in person before the season started at a Survivor watch party. And then Nate and I, like, he was just like, he and I think related a lot. It was the fact that we were all rookies, but also the fact that I wanted to genuinely play with those two because I really liked those two people. I liked every single person that season, but like being that we had the rookie stuff in common and just like a lot of life stuff in common, and me and Jason are both from like the Philly area. Of course, I'm gonna like tell them that. I'm not just gonna like keep that to myself. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. So night one happens, a little bit of chaos happens, and there's conversations being had. Sivo has an advantage. You guys found out about it. The rookies are being targeted. So the next morning we walk outside, and fun fact again that everybody probably doesn't know, on the way up there was no snow on the ground. When we woke up the next morning, that's when everything was covered in snow. The snow was still coming down. It looks so badass through the camera, but being there was
Miserable.
so cold. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't that cold. I thought it was gonna be way worse, but I can only imagine how you guys felt because obviously you guys weren't as bundled as production. I would say at least I had like every layer. I did not feel the cold after like the first round. I was chilling, but
I like the snow.
I'm
I don't.
going to ask you this question. What was it like playing in the cold? You've played Survivor, so I know you've endured, living outside. Do you think this was harder than that?
Yeah, for sure was, and I can't imagine playing Survivor in this climate. But just like they say, like on the actual show and like production says like the cold in Survivor, like that's not our show. Like our show is meant to be done in like the warm climate. So this was like something that was completely new. You're not going to find a Survivor game unless it's like some unique LRG that's done in the cold. I did any LRG that I played, it was in the summer in the heat. This was a completely different like experience, and this game is already difficult, already physically difficult, already mentally, emotionally difficult. You guys put the cold on top of that. Like while we were out there, it was like very miserable. I think the only thing that was saving me from being like being more miserable was the adrenaline pumping and the excitement of being in the game. And I think that's what warmed my body up literally. But it was so cold out there. Like I put on 2 layers of socks. The snow still got through my Hoka running shoes. It seeped through 2 pairs of socks, and it was like on my ankles and stuff. Like I was freezing. And then the elimination with Cam, like y'all see me slipping and sliding. I think it probably would have been, first of all, I'm terrible at Connect Four. We all saw it. The world saw it. But I think that probably would have been a little slightly better in that elimination if I wasn't like slipping and sliding in snow and then picking up the rings under the snow. And some rings were covered by the snow, so I couldn't see the rings. It was just like a very like, it just made everything just like physically more strategically like just worse. And it was like times like at this point I had been out of the game, but like the second morning waking up, walking out of there, like you could feel like the snow, like just woof, like the cold, like going into your lungs. Like it was harder to breathe. So the viewers watching this, like I know it looks cool, but that being out there was not like, it was fun, but it was not fun. It was very hard.
No, for sure. It definitely added a whole nother physical and even mental toll to the game.
Yeah.
I think that's like a lot to endure. But we do have some more people in the chat. We have Zay. He said Sivo is sassy as hell. We have Tootie Low saying, hey y'all, hey Cam. And we have Will in here as well. Shout out to Will, our medic. He is that guy. But all right, so we're gonna go a little quicker through this, but how did you feel about the natural selection twist? And we'll go with Sivo.
For natural selection, I thought it was crazy because I was thinking, okay, cool, maybe we're just gonna have captains. No, so we had to, like, you didn't know who was gonna be on your team. You could have been on the football team or team handicap. So we actually had the better team. We didn't have team handicap, so that's obviously a better advantage. So natural selection was in my favor, but I started liking it, but I did try to figure it out beforehand, like doing like math, but no, not at all, not happening.
I see the comments coming up on the screen now.
So Cam, how did you feel about the pack twist after you did the daily? pulling in people to be safe, having only the alpha pick who's gonna be going in against the house nomination. How did you feel about that?
Um, I don't know. I mean, like it was a good twist, but like y'all just I don't know. J Media is always up to something. Like you guys are always got something up your sleeve. No, but it was a good twist, like overall. Especially like having like them vote for the head person and the other person brings them in. So like say if they vote for you, you can bring your alliance in or like, like you can play with it. Um yeah.
So how did you guys feel about the daily? We'll touch base on it just a little bit because we don't have a lot of time. But what did you guys think of the first daily? Short and sweet. We'll start with Amir. What were your thoughts on the daily?
I thought it was like I knew it was a wrap once the teams like split up, and I knew like knowing my luck, I knew that I would be on like the other team. I guess like my thing was to just try my best, but I knew what it was going to be. Not an easy challenge at all. I wish that I was on the other team, and I know that the game would have been a lot more different for me had I been on that other team. I think.
Gotcha. Cam?
The first daily was can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay, so the first daily was bullshit because if you look at my team and you look at the other team, okay, now I'm here, we cool, but I was just like, oh my gosh, look at us, like look at our team, we have no chance, like we literally had no chance. I'm sorry, like I knew we were gonna lose, so I was just trying to do whatever I could. I swear to God, and
It
then
was more. Yeah, oh, sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it was more so
oh, you
not
good.
because of our team. It was more so because of who was on the other team. Like
Yeah,
Kevin's
like
big. Like Kevin's tall and big. Like Kevin, like tall guy. And then who was it? Like Nate is super athletic. And Jason super athletic. Like
mm-hmm.
it was more so
And I'm
because
not
of who
saying
we were
like
against.
I'm not saying we like some layups or nothing, like our team was layup, but like if you look at the other team, the bitches were stacked. So I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Well,
Oh my
I
god.
do want to say, because, yeah, I'm going to shout out Noah real quick. Noah got the ball. I'm pretty sure Noah was the first person to grab the ball on your guys' team. You guys had the ball. I don't know how the other team ended up getting it, but I
He
do want to
started
shout Noah
tackling
out for
us.
that because he did have the ball. And I don't know if anybody else on your team got that ball, but Noah had the ball for a
No,
hot.
Noah got the
Uh-huh.
ball, but they started tackling us. Like Clay, he bum rushed me and my glasses flew. You had Jason swinging Joel around like a rag doll. Like, did you know?
So, when Noah had the ball and everyone tackled him, I started going underneath and I started digging under the snow and I got the ball out from underneath Koa. And then they all like tried grabbing it back, but I wasn't letting that shit go. And then I think it was Mike when I saw a quick open, I pushed the ball to Mike and he threw it to Nate. And that's how we got the ball out from underneath. And that's why Jason said in one of his confessionals, he's like, Stevo helped us get that first daily challenge.
Gotcha. Makes sense. So
The second time, Kevin just pushed me and I flew into the other team.
Yeah, the second heat was super fast. I don't know. That was probably one of the fastest heats I've ever seen in our show. But all right, so let's just fast forward. Nate gets picked to be alpha. He then saves Jason, and then Jason then saves you, Sivo. Were you shocked that Jason actually picked you to be in the pack?
Then I wasn't, because I was like, oh, okay, I see. Maybe the rookies are all trying to stick together. And I wasn't under the impression at that point, because I didn't really pay attention to the rules, that they could choose people from the other side or whatever the case was. Because I was thinking, okay, we won. We're rookies. We're just going to keep the rookies. That's what I was thinking on our head. And I was like, okay, if we're all safe, we could keep the other rookies safe, which you see more so towards the deliberation where it's like, if they throw in a rookie, who do we think that rookie would have the best shot at beating? So that's why. And then I just tell them, I was like, whatever you guys decide, I'm good with. I'll go with what you guys say. Yeah. And then that's why we just picked Nate, because he was the alpha. So I just let him choose at the end of the day.
Okay. So now we fast forward, and I know we didn't get a lot of strategy talk in this episode, round one, Hopefully, throughout the season, we see a little bit of more gameplay, strategy, house talks. But there was one conversation going on that we did capture and was shown in the episode. So let's talk about it because I need to get down to the truth. Because to this day, I don't really know what happened. Who was the house supposed to vote? I know everybody was telling Amir it wasn't supposed to be him. Was that just a cover up? Or was it supposed to be somebody else? Because in all reality, if we look at it and we're being like real and honest and raw, it's either Noah or Amir. If the vets are sticking together, it's one or the other. And I don't think, without giving too much away, I don't think it was going to be Noah. So that only leaves Amir. Like, what were the conversations happening? How did Amir's name, Cam, if you know anything, Sivo, you weren't there, but Cam and Amir, like, can we touch base a little bit of the conversations that were going on?
To my knowledge, I don't think it was supposed to be Amir. I know my vote wasn't going to be for Amir. I'm really trying to remember that conversation because I know I was in the bathroom with y'all, but that was so long ago. I'm trying to remember.
So the bathroom conversation was a bunch of us in there, and I was just wishing upon a star that, like, I guess I don't know how Zay's name came up. I don't think that I was the first person to say Zay's name. I just think that, like, we see Kevin standing there, Clay standing there, like, not giving much, trying to lull somebody into saying something first. So we're sitting in there. I was just, like, trying to wish on a lucky star that wasn't me. And that it probably, like, would have been Koa because I wasn't sure how much people were going to, like, actually do Zay. But, like, I was like, if they're not going to do that, maybe they'll do Koa. But I think this was one of those instances in which it was, like, really bad luck for me because we see Sivo, Jason, and Nate, the three rookies are all safe in the, what was it called again?
The pack.
The pack, right? And then there's me and Koa. I guess, like, I guess Cam could probably speak to more of this, but Koa felt at the time, this was where I frustrated that he was more in with that, like, really super in with that group, right? Cam?
Sorry. I had conversations with Koa before the season, so I kind of, like, had his back more than, like, other rookies. Because, like, me and him would talk, like, I didn't get to talk to anybody else. So, like, him feeling like he was in because he really kind of was. Like, he had conversations with us, so if that makes sense.
I mean, I guess, like, I don't take this personally, but I didn't get the luxury. I don't know what maybe it was about me because I was new to the scene. Y'all didn't see me, but I didn't get the luxury of people, like, reaching out to me like before the season. Like, I felt like a lot of people, like, had people reach out to them in conversations before. But my very first time speaking to Kevin was, like, at Banana King is that what it's called? Yeah, whatever at Banana King when we got there. I didn't really have too many conversations before. Like, so, like I said, like, I was just hoping that, like, my things would happen, like, in the game. So I can understand. The only thing that, like, frustrates me a little bit, and I love Koa, but I guess I just get a little bit frustrated with the whole thing, like, oh, it was always going to be Amir. Like, I don't know. It just seems like every season, like, there's, like, of the challenge, there's, like, one rookie who's just like not. I don't think he was kissing the vet's ass, but all, like, just seemed like he's, like, sort of, like, in, and then, like, being completely oblivious to the fact that, like, you might be on the bottom of that, right? Because if there's this secret six thing and he's in, like, if you guys, like, had to throw someone in elimination, it's just you 7 left. Like, you guys are going to do, like, Koa first, right? Is that fair to say, Cam? So that, I mean, that, like, that whole kind of thing, so that kind of thing, like, Night Wonder's conversation had with me and a group of people, right? So then, like, it was just like, and I remember this. I felt like that conversation was just like a way to, like, get numbers, not because, like, you were actually on the end. So it was like this thing. And we had a conversation where we were like, there's only 5 of us here. So just, I mean, I understand game move, but still frustrates me that, like, that was, like, a thing, a rookie turning against, like, rookie that early. Yeah.
I definitely think.
From my point of view, looking in, because I was in the pack, like, we kind of figured it was going to be one of the rookies, but we understood where Koa was coming from where he had to choose to pick you over himself. Because if everyone else was going and starting to say your name, he did the smart thing, which was
No,
going along with the vets as opposed to trying to switch it up and not
what I'm
showing
saying,
them,
no,
hey,
no, no.
look, I could vote
What I'm
with you.
what I'm saying is, in that moment, I understood, but I didn't find out until after the game, after everything that was over, where it was like, oh, it was always going to be on there. We had a conversation and this whole thing. That's what frustrated me about it, because if it'd be one thing if it's like, it'd be one. I talk game to you, Cole. Yes, I did. I absolutely did. It'd be silly of me not to. I absolutely talk game to you. I absolutely did. But yeah, he said none of the rookies talk game to me. I don't. Why would I not talk to rookies when I knew there's 5 rookies in the game? I did. Maybe you don't remember, but I did. So yeah, my frustration was like it just seemed like this convoluted, like, pre-planned thing, when like it wasn't like actually like me trying to like him. I would understand if it was Koa like trying to like self-preserve when he knew it was already going to be me. But it seemed to not be like that. And maybe that makes sense. Yeah.
Noah said before the game, yes, but when we were in the house, no.
But he said no. He said none of his words just now was none of the rookies talk game to me. I absolutely talk game to you, whether it was there or not. I thought it was just like this implied thing. We absolutely had a conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So okay, so the conversation in the pack was let's stay rookie strong. They're gonna throw a rookie in. So who do we think can beat a rookie? Who do we think Amir or Noah can beat if they're down there in the elimination? You guys decided to go with Cam. We don't have Nate here, so can you give me a little backstory to that, Sivo? Why Cam?
Yeah. So the main reason I think why we picked Cam, which I told Cam that night, I told him the reason why we picked him was because we didn't know where he lied, because he was like to himself. Like none of us really spoke to him as much as some of the other people. And so I think that was the main reason why they settled on him, because I think it was originally going to be either Cam, or I think they said it was either going to be Cam, Steven, or James, because those are the only 3 on the other team that we didn't really like speak to, because we told the people on our team we were keeping them safe. We didn't want to say Amir Koa, and then Joel was just too nice to everybody, so we didn't want to say him. But I think it came down to when Nate made the final decision, he was more so always set on Cam because he didn't have any conversations with Cam. So in a sense, it was like
Exactly.
him
He
burning
never
the least
talked to
amount
me,
of bridges.
so
Right. So I think
I'm
that's how it went to Cam. And I even told Cam after, like, I apologized to him because I was like, I didn't even speak to Cam at that point until after the elimination and stuff. And that's when I actually started getting to know Cam.
yeah. Nobody
And
spoke to
so
me.
I did
Like,
apologize to Cam for saying his name. And I was like, had we had this conversation sooner, I probably would have tried pushing it elsewhere.
And they had also been thinking about like physical body stature. We're like, this is an all guy season. They're probably going to start us out with a pole wrestle. It's probably going to be a headbanger as soon as we get out there. And just looking at like physical stature, not underestimating Cam because I mean badass in this game, but we're like looking at physical stature. Like Amir probably has a better chance of beating Cam in like a pole wrestle, which we kind of thought the game would start off as, if that makes sense, because it's an all male season and it's like we're thinking like brute straight.
Yeah, that's why I said what I said. Like, which rookie also think about it? If we want the rookies to come back, who do we think they would have the best shot at beating? If it was something mental, physical, or endurance, we didn't know what it was going to be. So that's something also I think that could have played a part in it.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I was just like, I'm just going to respect what you guys decide, and I'm just going to go with you guys and respect your decision, because at the end of the day, we could have all said, for example, we're going to throw in Amir. But then once we got there, Nate could have just been like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go Cam. He could have changed his mind at any point and chose
Same
anybody he
scenario.
wanted.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it's just like we didn't know where Nate was going to vote. But that's how I think Cam's name got brought up, because he didn't have any conversations with Nate.
Yeah.
and that's his problem, because when we moved in the house and he was the last person to come in, I spoke to him and it was just so dry. So I mean, but really,
he was a very very
wasn't talking
concise
to
individual.
himself.
Like Nate, I love him. That's my guy. But he was very concise, very like 2 to 3 words, and that was it. So I understand.
In the
Yeah.
car right
And
there,
then
though, he was talking a lot in the car.
what pisses me off with this game is like people be like, well, towards me, oh, Kim, we don't know where y'all head is. Bitch, if y'all would just come and talk to me, like I'm not like
If there's anyone
I
who I
don't
didn't know
know.
where
Like,
if there's anyone who I didn't know where their head was, it was like Clay, or like it was like Clay, or like I guess even Kevin. Kevin talked a lot more than Clay did, but that, for me it was Clay, not like ever you or even Joel.
no, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, most people, like my rookie season, when me and Choice got thrown into elimination, they were like, "Oh, we don't know where your head is." You're not gonna know
Did,
because y'all haven't had a conversation. Like,
did you
even
guys see
after the
Nadia's
elimination,
comment?
nobody talked to us. So I'm just appalled.
Cam,
Okay, just a little
you
appalled.
saw Nadia's comment?
Yes, I did. You mixed bitch. Now let's move on.
But what she say? I mean, I did think I was gonna be like you see Kim, you see me. Like she seen us both in person. You know, that's funny.
So, okay. So let's talk about this deliberation. Amir, your name gets said by Zay, and you start going off like a bat out of hell, as Zay likes to say. What triggered you to react that way? And looking back, do you regret it? Do you stand on it? Do you think you made the right decision? And actually, before we even get into that, your plea was, I think it's lame for rookies to be targeted. So let's talk a little bit about that. Do you still stand on everything you said and did in that deliberation?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I guess it was a rookie mistake for me to go off the way that I did. Do I stand on? I mean, I don't stand on. I mean, I don't regret like my opinion of the rookie thing. I don't regret saying that. I still like stand by that. I think that a lot of the reason that people lose money in this game time and time again is because of that strategic play, and that because it's something that you've seen on the show. So it's not like I want to see people begin to like reinvent the wheel. I think that it becomes like a better I think that becomes a better game, and I think that people are more likely to win for themselves unless they're playing for someone else. I do regret like snapping the way that I did. It was a bit hypocritical of me to get angry at Zay when I was probably going to say Zay's name. I admitted that. But it's just like once I heard my name, like it just was. I really wasn't expecting maybe I was just hoping too hard that my name wouldn't like be the one to like be said. But as soon as he says I'm married, like I see red, and anybody who's sitting in that spot would have gotten that smoke, but it was just because he had happened to be sitting in that position on the couch, which is funny on account of all the events. Just the events that transpired after that. But yeah, it would have been like just anybody. Like it would have been anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much I believe that if I didn't snap, they wouldn't have said my name like Clay was trying to say, like I said in the episode. I guess we'll never know. We'll have to find out because people could always lie about that. But am I talking too much? Sorry.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually we did have a question where people were saying like, oh, Amir, you were saying like Zay said this and Zay said that, and you're throwing him under the bus, and Zay's addressing it right now, saying Amir thought he was doing something by throwing me under the bus to Kevin, but Kevin already knew everything I said. So what was said?
What was said? Kevin. What was said was Zay said that he didn't trust. Oh my God, Zay. If I'm remembering vaguely, Zay said that he didn't trust Kevin because in the previous season he had thrown Kevin in time and time again or something like that. I've seen so many episodes of this; it's all a blur. But he said that he was coming to the season not trusting him because of their past beef. Now I didn't know any conversation that they had. And me and Zay talked because me and Zay talked before the game started. Like when everyone's like when everyone's doing their confessionals and Nell keeps saying, "Oh my, she's so." I'm not lying. Well, I'm not lying right now. What I have to lie about? I'm not lying. She's so funny. But yeah, no, I mean, he sat in the car with me, saying all those things. Yeah. Nell he's saying, "I'm not lying. Why would I look? What do I have to lie about now? The game's over." I'm lying.
Nadia said, I ain't never gonna apologize for going off. Stand up and mean that. Don't take it back now.
No, I don't. I do apologize for going off the way that I did. It was no like reason for me to do that. Like it's also happened to me in a lot of LRGs where like I snap, I go off, and then like people get angry at me or the people turn against me. Like it's not a good game move, and I guess it just doesn't look cute. And I don't want my students to see Mr. Williams acting like some pain in the ass asshole screaming at people. Like it's not something that I want to like do or be. So I do regret that in a lot of senses.
Yeah. So they end up all voting you in. You're going in, and they end up throwing Cam. Cam, when you heard your name, were you genuinely shocked? I know we saw in the episode you were shocked. We saw in your confessional you were shocked. But watching it back, did it bring any emotions back? How did you feel watching that back?
In the moment, I was shocked. No, literally, y'all. If you see in the episode, I'm literally bundled up, like I'm a little cold. I'm trying to get comfortable, and they was like, Cam. I was like, what? And they said, Cam. I was like, wow, this is the bullshit I be talking about. So when y'all saw me walking up the stairs, I'm not gonna lie, I packed up my bags. I went to the restroom, and I locked the restroom, and I was hiding in there for like a good 5 minutes, 5, 6 minutes,
You know,
and I was just sitting down. That's very dramatic, but I was over it.
I'm looking at the comments right right now. Let me say, like, I also didn't have any friends going into that game, so we can like, I don't know, like a lot of people have a lot to say, but have tons of friends going into the game, and that is probably why they do as well as they do. Let's not throw shade at Amir. I didn't have as many connections going to the game as a lot of you guys did, but yeah, just saying.
So, what's it called? Nadia said Cam should have stood up and started swinging after they had the audacity to interrupt you from your nap.
Okay.
I agree with that.
So, when my name was said, the reaction that I wanted to give was the same reaction that Amir did. I wanted to go the fuck off, but I was like, you know what? Let me just clock in.
Why didn't you go off?
Because I mentally needed to be prepared for the elimination. So like, if I'm too angry, I'm not gonna focus on what I need to focus on. So that's why I needed to step away and be like, okay, let me calm down, let me get myself together and get ready for elimination. Because I can pop off. But I'm not trying. I've been not trying to show that side. I've been trying to keep my composure.
Period. So before we head into elimination, we have Cam. He goes upstairs, locks himself in the room. Amir, the vets are talking to you. You said feeding you bullshit. They were telling you things. Do you still feel watching it back that they were feeding you bullshit now watching the episode, or did you?
Yeah, and it was confirmed to me like afterwards that it was, and a lot of people told me that they were only saying that in the event that I got back into the game, that I wouldn't like come after them, or if I was ever in a position of power, like I would ever do anything against them. So yeah, I felt like it was BS. Absolutely, I did, because a lot of people have snapped in this game and they've been like completely fine. I snap in a game and it's you can't do that. It's bad. Like I don't know. It just I don't know. It was definitely BS.
Yeah. So we're gonna touch base on this. I know we're also gonna answer a few questions that were asked by fans and viewers throughout the day. But before we get into those, in your little conversation with Zay, you did mention a little crush. You had your eyes on him. So we do have to touch base on it. The viewers are asking. Whatever you want to share.
I don't. You can ask. Go ahead and ask. I was on reality TV. It's the tough part. It's
so okay. What was it like, being there and having to say that and watching it back? Like, I know we were at the premiere together and you were like, there's no way this is in there. Did you remember that scene? And how did you feel in that moment? Like when talking to Zay, was it good? Like if you got back into the game, was your plan to work with Zay?
Yeah, my plan was to work with Zay, especially after me like revealing that. That was like a really personal moment for me. Because it was like one of the first times that like I'm showcasing myself being out and in my full like self and my sexuality and who I was. And my heart was like pounding because I saw that you got it on camera, and I had a long journey with like coming out. So when I saw that you got that on camera, my heart was pounding because I was like, I just said that on camera. That's going to be on TV. Like now this is for real. Like me, like I'm coming out. So it was like, that was, aside from like the strategic, like just everything else, like it was a really big personal moment for me that I just thank Dream Media for. And just for like showcasing that side of me. Like this is a really big thing for me because it was the first time that I had like been that part of myself on camera. What was the other question? Or what was the question really? Second answer?
Like if you answered it because you said that if you got back in the game, you were really wanting to work with.
Yeah, like it was true. It was true. Like I had a liking for Zay going in, and I saw that reciprocated. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So honestly, and I want to say thank you for being able to open up with that, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know until after the season that this was kind of like I don't want to say you're coming out because you had already come out, but like this was a part of that process.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
I had played. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
But I had played Survival Challenge. I guess a few months, like since the summer before that, and I had saw like so many people like this is like I don't play LRGs just like for the fun of it. It's just also like I'm not sure if I'll ever want to like I'm not sure if I'll ever be on real reality TV. So like these are really like significant moments for me that I want to like try my best to like live. So yeah, me like I'd come out of Survival Challenge before. This was like, and I had saw so many people like happy in themselves and truly themselves. And then Dream Media was the second LRG that I'd done after that. I wanted to go into a game with that freedom and not like to have sort of hold myself back. And what I really appreciated about just the whole production and everyone there was just everyone was themselves and everyone allowed people who had different personalities and just came from different walks of life to do that. I had grew up in like a sort of semi-conservative Christian household in the hood, right? When we know how it's taboo in the hood to like having like to sort of do that. I'm still a little bit afraid for some people to like see this on camera. I haven't shown a lot of people, but it's a really long journey. But I really do appreciate it because now it's like if you see it, that's it, and that's just I'm just gonna have to live with it. And I think I'm coming to a point where I'm fine with it. I'm still on a long like journey of like building Imir and rebuilding who I am as a person. But like I really do thank like Dream Media for being part of that and being like an anchor in that, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, and we appreciate you being open and honest, and we're all here for you, the production.
I'm good.
I know your castmates are here. We love you, and I know the game's the game, but I think all of you can attest to that. Like when the cameras are down and outside of that, we are a big dysfunctional family. So
absolutely,
you know you have our support here, and we always got you.
Absolutely. Just real quick, like I meant to reach out. Like I know that Nadia is like being shady in the comments right now, but is that her like doing it? Is she Nads? Is that Nadia?
Who?
Nads?
Yeah, that's Nadia.
Okay, so
Nad.
yeah, so but I know that she's being shady and trying to bring the heat. But I love Nadia and I love Kevin and all those different like all those people. And I can't talk about it now because of like what happened in the game and like just future stuff. But like I know that people genuinely on the outside of this game are great, amazing people. Nadia was very supportive of me in a moment that I was feeling really hurt, and Kevin was really supportive of me in a moment that I was feeling really hurt, and we know what we're talking about. But yeah, like I know that people are like great outside the game, but like try to bring the heat like inside the game and like to like contribute to this. So yeah.
Nadia said, proud of you, Imir. Zay said, we support you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Catherine said that was brave of you, Imir. So
thank you. I appreciate it.
You've got the love. You've got the love.
Thank you.
But yeah, so let's go straight into that elimination. We step outside. It's announced that the elimination grounds are called the Den, and I know everybody was expecting it, this big headbanger. And I know production, the idea behind it was we're giving them a headbanger daily challenge. We thought it was going to be a little bit more evened out, matched up. So we thought we were going to be out there a little bit longer, not going to lie. But we also wanted to throw you guys in for a loophole and think if they shoot big and they send down 2 meatheads, it's going to be more than just wrestling over a pole. So I think production did throw that little twist in there for you guys. I think you were all taken back a little bit with that. Mm-hmm. But what was going through your mind, Imir, when you saw the Connect 4 board, when the elimination was announced to you? In that moment, were you still actually confident that you were going to beat Cam, or did anything start to get in your head like, I actually might be going home, like this is the first time and I'm down here?
So I had actually seen so we were being like we had, I want to say it was accidental for some people, but like, because I don't want to like throw anybody out there, but what people had actually, before we went out there and we were allowed to go out, we'd actually seen the Connect 4 board set up. And I'm like, what the hell could that be? Like, are we just like playing like some sort of like thing? I had no idea it would be endurance until I got out there. I'm a pretty fit guy. Like I wasn't like, I was super, super confident going into there. And I was super confident going into the season. I genuinely felt like I could win that game, like going in, like seeing those guys, because I felt that like I could stack up against them. And I'm really good at eating. And I've won eating challenges and in other LRGs, and I've done really well, and I've like can run fast and strong. But like with this, when I really felt like I was gonna go home was after that first round. And this is why I was like, I'm getting a rookie ass whooping for real, because I knew that I was going to go home because I see all these people helping Cam. And even if Cam wasn't good at Connect 4 already, like he had all this help, and they're like, this one, that one. Like I just knew that it was going to be a wrap, like after that first round, because they had all those people.
Do you think, sorry to cut you off, but this, I'll ask both of you. Do you think that watching it back, do you think that's strategy? Do you think all is fair in Love War and the challenges? Or do you think like everybody that was not in the elimination should have just stayed shut? Because like from my personal opinion, I think like that's what comes with being down there, like the connections you have. It's part of being a vet, like things like that. But from your perspective, the one down there playing, how did you genuinely feel, living in the moment and watching it?
I was obviously upset by it, but I fully understand it. I mean, like, had I been like, I would have loved some people to help me, and I guess some rookies were helping me. Like, I just didn't hear because I was so locked in. But if I come back into a future season of something like this, and I know that I'm a vet now and I have friends, like I would hope that they help me, right? Because I mean, I want to come back in the game, and I want y'all to help me come back in the game. But it's like really defeating, like in the moment though, because it's just like all of these people are like helping you, and then like I guess like I understand why James did it in the moment, and I understand everything, and me and James weren't like closer friends until after everything, but like he's like helping Cam, and he's not even like in with them. It was just like the whole thing was like really frustrating. But yeah, like I got a rookie ass whooping for real. I got all these guys telling Cam where to place it. He could have like, I'm already not good at this shit. They're like, oh, place it here, place it there. Like it was just like I got the rookie treatment for real, where like I was a rookie, I was thrown in, and I got like my ass handed to me. And also just humbled me a little bit. Like I know that I'm not as good of a challenge. I'm not and wasn't as good of a challenger as I thought I was. And it just like was a moment for me to like really reflect after the game, do a little bit more training, do a little bit more mental training, because I had underestimated like just the puzzles and all these things in the game. So yeah, I get it. I understand the whole thing, and come back. You just come back better.
Yeah, for sure. So I did want to congratulate Cam. I don't know where he's at, but I did want to congratulate him.
I'm here.
Oh, boy, you better get your ass on the camera.
I'm at
eating.
work, so I have to cut my camera off.
Gotcha. Well, I did want to congratulate you on your elimination win. You did amazing, and you've proven yourself. This is your second season, but Killer Cam really is showing out, and I'm excited to see where your character goes this season. I know that this is just the beginning for you, and I hope that we get to see more of you and your skills in this game. As for Amir, you couldn't get it done, and it was honestly heartbreaking to see you go because you. What happened?
None.
You were not my first boot prediction. I know we had that conversation, and I know that you were really upset after the game and stuff like that, but I was gagged to see you go first. I think you got dealt bad cards.
Yes, absolutely.
You were just very unlucky. I mean, no shade to you. I do think you should have been able to play Connect 4 a little bit better. But
don't play that shit.
Besides that, you getting into that elimination, it was kind of like the challenge gods were against you. It wasn't your season, but I definitely do think that you do have a lot more to show.
I do.
I think that like you said, like it humbled you. You're gonna have the off season to train, and hopefully we do see you again in the future. Because I know like there's no way you're working out and you're talking this hot in interviews, and then you're going home first. It just wasn't. Your cards were dealt wrong, and I know we'll see more of Amir hopefully in the future.
Yeah, and I just think like I know people like think of this as a physical game, but I want people to really understand like the emotional and mental toll. This game is hard, like socially, mentally, emotionally. This game is very, very hard. So like during these off seasons, I really want people future players and then like past players and alums to really like put work into themselves emotionally and mentally, and like to be ready for that, because you never know like what's going to happen there. Like an injury is an injury. You can always heal from the injury, like physically, but I feel like, in my opinion, it's harder to come back from like emotional wear and tear and mental wear and tear. So let's make, like, I don't know what that means for you, but to really put in the work to train emotionally and train mentally and socially.
I think a lot of people really do underestimate how much of an emotional toll this game does take. Like 1,000,000%, clearly it's physical, but emotionally it does take a toll as well. Just like being on production, it takes a toll. So I can only imagine like being in that mindset of like, competing. And again, a lot for the rookies as well. Maybe you don't have connections. Maybe you don't know these people. You don't know anybody. So it definitely is just as an emotional like game than it is physical as well. We have Jocelyn in the comments saying, I agree, it's an all-around game. And we can't get too much into it, but it really is. So
can I chime in about the emotional stuff part? Because
yeah.
you guys know Kim is famous for always crying on the show. Sorry, but the show it's like very, how can I put this? You just gotta check yourself before going into the game, because of course it's gonna get emotional and stuff, but like it's hard to overall. I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know. I'm just an emotional ass person, so I'm gonna continue to keep crying on the show. And even though I say I'm not gonna cry, I'm gonna continue to cry. So expect more tears from me.
It's just really hard. It's really hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So Amir, before we wrap up the game and we get into, questions that the viewers are asking, behind the scenes stuff, is there anything you would like to say about the game? How was your experience? Do you, like, I know in the episode you said you would love to come back. Do you still stand by that after watching it? Will we see you again? And yeah, like how was your experience on Dre Media? Yeah, it was short, but did you enjoy it? And what would you say to the viewers?
Yes, I'll absolutely come back. Every single time that I'm invited back, I'll come back time and time and time and time again, and I'm going to get better and better and better and better. And I hope to the stars, and I'm never going to hope. Like, I know that one day I'll be a champion in this game as long as I'm invited back and brought back. But yeah, like, it was an amazing experience. Like, even after the game was over, like, I didn't feel like I was out of the game, because there were so many people there that were like really super loving the production. We had like, oh my God, Carmen, like the chefs there, and the people that were cooking, and like everyone, people I would just like shower with love during that season, that I just like knew that this was like, I was like, this felt like the place for me. I was like, all right, I can do this. It's like just really genuine, nice people. And I think that like, you can have the best of the best, like you can have all of the resources and all the money and everything that you can to make like this super high level LRG, but it doesn't matter if you don't have like good people behind the scenes, like tending to people. And I really did feel love while I was there. We had a lot of fun. Drink every night. The party, all the stuff behind the scenes that the viewers like when I get to see, like Dre Media is like, it's a good time. When like, especially when you're drinking and chilling and having fun. Yeah. When you could put the game out. Yeah. It's a genuine vibe. Yeah. Like Zay said, it's a genuine vibe all around for sure. And I wouldn't lie. I wouldn't say that for no reason. Like, it was great.
No, I appreciate that. And I think that's like something that me, like personally myself and my team have, strived for. We want everybody to feel welcome. We want you all to feel like family. And, family fights. Family is not always on the best of terms, but at the end of the day, we do love each other. We do have each other's back. And my main thing is respecting one another. So I'm glad you felt that. I appreciate you coming out and playing the game. I appreciate you not being such a sour person after, because we did spend the weekend together and you were still, vibing and drinking. Like, you had your moment and then you let it go. And I respect that. So, and I think I'm someone, I will say this, Cam, Amir, Sivo, anybody moving forward, don't be afraid to cry. I think to me that shows how passionate you are about this game. Like, if you're just there just to be there and you don't give a fuck and you're like, I'll go into every elimination, I don't care, I don't want to strategize, I don't care, whatever, then like, not that you shouldn't be there, but it's like, then why are you there? Like, to me, when you guys cry, I'm not saying that I like to see you guys cry. I'm just saying, as a host, it makes me like know like what I'm doing is right. Like they want to be here just as much as I want to be here and put on this show. So the emotion is always, appreciated, and I'll always stand by that and respect you guys for that, for being.
I really do love this game so much. I want people to see my heart. I really do love this game. Yeah.
Thank you. So that recaps episode 1. But before we do end the recap of the episode, Amir, really quick, without any spoilers, in that moment, is there anyone you're rooting for or anyone you would like to go see home next?
At the time, I was like really rooting for Zay, and obviously, but aside from that, I was really rooting for Jason. I think that it was like refreshing to see Jason as 47-year-old, like older guy playing this game with a wife at home, like rooting for him. I thought that was amazing. I was, really rooting for Jason and rooting for Nate, and I didn't really like have super ill will until after the game was over. But but when I'm standing there, I'm like looking at this line of people. I'm like hoping that like Clay or Kevin goes next in that moment. I'm just talking about who Amir was like in that moment. Yeah, and that was
for sure.
Yeah.
Sivo, what would you say, without any spoilers, what should viewers expect moving forward in this season?
A lot of snow. I want to say a lot more a lot more competition, and you get to see more of like the real sides of people and like gameplay. I want to say like game moves, strategy, and people maneuvering and working ways through to get to certain spots in the game and stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then Cam, if you can answer this, where do you go from here in the game? You were just targeted in round 1. Do you go for the rookies? Do you stay with the 6? Do you switch things up? What should we expect from you personally this season?
I think you guys should expect, without giving too much, I think you should just honestly expect me to be more out of my shell. For one, my target wise, it's gonna be the same little target from my first season. As you can see in the first episode, I said who I was going after. So look forward to seeing if I stick by that. If I don't, and just expect Killer Cam to actually show up this season.
Period. Okay, so that wraps up episode 1 recap. Before we go, I do have a couple questions, and I do want to play one game. So I'm here. As first, I'm going to let you pick. Do you want to play the game first, or do you want to answer questions first?
What do you want to do? Seriously, I'll do whatever you want to do.
It's okay. All right, what'd you say?
It's okay. Like, I don't have a preference, so whatever you want to do.
Okay, so let's go with game. Okay. So what's it called? We're gonna play. I love doing this. We do this usually every first recap. Rapid fire. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say someone's name on the cast, and you're gonna say one word to describe them. So all 3 of you are gonna do it. So Cam, are you gonna be playing, or are you wrapping it up for the night? I know he's.
Am I answering? Am I answering like how? I'm obviously answering.
One word, Amir. One word. One word.
No, in the time. I'm answering how I felt at the time, right?
Just in general, like that person. Okay. Person. So, all right. So I'm gonna say the name, and then it's gonna be Amir, Sivo, Cam, and it's just rapid fire. Not taking. It's rapid fire. Or it doesn't count. Ready? All right. So we're gonna start with Kevin.
Oh, competitor.
Yeah, competitor.
Ooh, I know the word.
My word would be strong.
Strong. All right, Clay.
Shady.
Trickster.
Oh wait, no, not now. Keep going.
Cam.
Mysterious.
All right, Zay.
Attractive.
Zay.
Isaiah.
Okay. One word about Zay. Sneaky.
Sneaky. Siva, what word did you say?
Oh, I called him by his first name because I don't like that.
Oh. All right.
That's
Who's
credit this
next? Who else? Jason.
Ooh, genuine.
Fun.
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable. That's a good one. All right. Noah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
It don't
All right,
count.
that's your
Yeah,
answer.
question mark. Sorry.
Sivo.
Fear.
Sorry, okay.
Sam.
Friendly.
And then what's it called?
Showman says, please, y'all. Oh my god.
All
right.
Who else is next?
Is this serious?
I'm here. Don't read the comments. You're rapid firing.
Oh, I
Hold
didn't say
on.
name yet.
I didn't say name yet. Nate.
God fearing. Yes.
Beast.
Quiet.
Quiet. And then Joel.
Ooh. Vibe.
Caring.
I would say sweet.
Okay. And then I think that's everyone. Oh,
Mike.
no. Mike.
Fun.
Mysterious.
Mike. I say macho.
It's a good one.
And then last, James.
James, just strategic.
Real.
This is 2 words, but wild card.
Okay.
That too. Yeah.
Did y'all do Steven?
Steven.
Oh, and we got Steven. Sorry, Steven. We love you, but last guy, Steven.
Fighter.
Odd.
Sneaky.
That's right.
That's how I felt at the time. Just had to put that out there. I'm sorry.
So those are your rapid fire answers about your castmates. Let's get right into some of the questions that the viewers have been asking. Again, I'm just gonna ask straight off what they asked. You guys are able to share what you want and what you don't want. But we're gonna start with Sivo. Who was your number one going into the game?
Going into the game, I didn't really have a number one, like I said in my confessionals. On the way, I did know Noah outside the game, so we kind of talked about working together. But in the car ride up, I kind of spoke with Nate a little more. So as the game like started and stuff, I would say more so Nate, just because like of our conversation in the car and everything.
Okay. They said, Cam, what were your thoughts on beating Amir after he said he thought he was stronger than you?
My thoughts were like, oh, that was cute. I mean, you say stuff in your little confessionals or whatever. But and I don't want people to be like, oh, you had help or whatever. If y'all don't know me, and Dre can attest, in the iMessage games, I be whooping ass, okay? So when it came to that Connect 4, a bitch already had it down together. So it is what it is.
Yeah, no, I mean, but just real quick to respond to that, like, I still think that, like, I think that if it was a pole wrestle, I would have destroyed Cam, respectfully. No, but it was the elimination that we got that I think it was what it was. But I do think I underestimated you for sure. Absolutely, for sure.
It didn't happen. Let's move on.
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is in the future, Amir and Cam need to go in elimination together.
I want anybody take me to pole wrestle, and I bet on myself. Absolutely.
I I'm just gonna let you guys know that I'm never doing the pole wrestle again. So do not
So,
put me in that season.
you know what I
Thank
wanted
you.
to happen was I wanted to go against Kevin in the pro wrestling that season. Be like, then wasn't it like? Actually, I'm not going to say that name, but go ahead. But that was something that somebody else wanted to do. But everyone wants to take Kevin in the pro wrestle. Yeah.
The next question I have is, Imir, what is the tea with you and Zay? Be honest.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Kurt, all right, here, Kurt, I'm gonna be completely transparent about this whole thing. The team with us now, me and Zay, he's my friend, and just my friend. I don't know, like there was a falling out that I didn't appreciate and really hurt. We had a conversation about it. But as of right now, we're friends. But we during it, there was a time where he and I had fun, and it was fun while it was fun, and it was fun while it lasted. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna leave it with like you can ask Zay, but like to be completely honest, like I think that Zay is a good person. I just think that Zay, Amir, please, please what? Like please as in like please, or like please as in like please tell us more. Like, I see a lot of comments coming in there. All right.
Yeah.
I'll answer the question. Like, we want just friends, been there, said that. As of today, Zay is my friend. There is nothing going on. Like that is.
Well, it leads to my next question. Was there any secret hookups in the house?
Yes, there was, and
They weren't secret.
Who asked that?
And you can ask James, who walked in on one of them, and then told everybody. This is crazy. I'm like really on reality TV, but yeah, there were absolutely. Zay and I had fun, like I said.
Zay mentioned we established we're just friends. Oh, we had that talk. That's our business.
And apparently everybody else is now.
Girl, nobody cares.
I don't want to hear it, Zay. Was it really a secret? Oh my
No,
god.
it wasn't a secret.
At the time, yes,
it was not a secret because y'all was doing it.
It was not a secret. I caught you guys when you guys first went down the stairs.
Oh, you
remember when you guys went down the stairs? I caught you right there.
Oh my gosh! Please, if you really want to wrestle, oh yes, Kevin, I really want to wrestle with that pole. Let's do it. Let's do it. We can do it for fun. We can do it for real. Let's do it.
No, Amir, you're gonna be like up to his knees.
No, but I forgot that Sibo overheard us in the hallway. Like, oh my, that was a whole thing. Yeah, I forgot.
I heard the whole beginning. I was there for the majority of that. I heard a lot of it.
Like, wait, heard what?
It was nothing.
Okay, so since we're letting it all out there.
Look, this is all I'm gonna say. They said, "Oh my god, enough." This is all I'm gonna say. I didn't know the extent of what happened in that house. So when we get off of here, I want to know what was heard. But
okay, so let me just say this. It started off like they were upstairs in the rooms where the beds were. And I went upstairs. So they were just sitting there acting like they had a normal conversation. It wasn't a conversation. I was in the stairway at first listening to the conversation. So then I went upstairs.
Oh my
acting like I was looking for something. Then they're like, Amir's like, I'm going downstairs. No, Zay said, I'm going downstairs. And Amir's like, oh, I'm going downstairs too. Next thing you know, I hear then I hear the door slam and both of them are gone and they both went one way and not separate ways. They both went the same way. And the only way they could have went was to the bathroom because that was the only door right there at the bottom of the stairs. And so, given all that, I mean, I know what happened because I was told by somebody what more went on, but that's for them to share if they want to. And we'll leave it at that. Amir, would you like to continue the story?
Kevin, no, we're good. No, but we are friends today. We had, I mean, people, if you know, you know. A lot of people know, alums know, like people, like if you know, you know. But I'll be very willing to talk about that in the future. And looking forward.
Dre Media, are you the one?
Yeah, looking for Dre Media, are you the one? I would do that. But yeah.
All right. Well, I think that is all the questions we have tonight. It was a pleasure having you guys here again. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you to everyone that was in the live chat with us. Make sure to tune in every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern for episodes of the Caucus Challenge. Seasons 1 through 16 are up and ready to be binged and streamed as well. We will do recaps hopefully every Tuesday night. Casting for 2025 rookies is open, so if you think you have what it takes to come on the Caucus Challenge and compete, apply. Always apply. Be yourself. It does not matter. We just want to see a bunch of fresh faces in there, people who want to come out here and share their story.
You may be the next hookup.
Oh,
and yeah, I think people are saying they can't wait for episode 2. I promise you this season is well worth the watch. But I think that's all we've got for tonight. Again, thank you, Amir, Sivo, Cam. I appreciate you guys for being here. And
Welcome.
I look forward to, experiencing the rest of the season with you guys. I can't wait for you guys to see what everybody said behind the scenes, and I can't wait for the viewers to see the game play out and see who ends up becoming the alpha of the season. Again, it's a wrap. Thank you guys for all the love and support. Until next time, this is Dre signing out. I love you guys and have a good night.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Oh, Cam